Okay. I think I'm on. All right, you guys, give me 1 second. I know. Okay. It's 9 o'clock. Not quite sure how many people are around. Probably falling asleep by now. Okay. All right, all right, all right. How's everybody doing? Oh, shoot. What's happening here? Okay. All right. I think we are on. Okay. I think we still have this one here. All right. I think I'm on a. Okay. Cool. All right, guys. Welcome. I know probably people are falling asleep. It's okay. You could join later. But anyway. Oh, hi, because I can. Welcome, welcome. I thought like people were falling asleep, so. How are we doing today? I haven't been on quite some time. I was watching Carter earlier. So hopefully we're doing pretty well. I know we're kind of like downtrending like crazy. But is this to be expected though? I mean, come on, everything is coming down too. So, I mean, I feel like we're just following the SPY at the moment. But eventually we're going to decouple for sure. But let's see. Okay, so today was pretty uneventful. Now, yes, there were a lot of price recovery towards the middle of the day. You could see here. Again, like it's nothing new. I feel like the volume is very low, which is pretty enticing for people to buy into calls. If you are, if you know anything about IV, right? When the IV is low, that's usually enticing call buyers to come in. So that's what I'm hoping, or puts buyer too, right? I mean, depends on which direction they think that the market is gonna go. But as far as GME though, I know price is down and people automatically think that it's done, right? And this is what they do best. I'm telling you, like if you look at the volume today, very dry, you guys, very dry, uneventful. And this is exactly what they want you to feel. I mean, just think about this when we were at $10, okay? Like nothing for a while, and then boom, all of a sudden, right? So are we going to see that again or just continue downtrend from here? I don't know. I don't think they could pull it down any longer because of the liquidity, right? The global liquidity is about to come back on again. Of course, they want you to think that the stock market's going to crash, but I don't think the bond market really signaled that, because now there might be a short-term pain, but then, that's going to be a bear trap, right? In my opinion, honestly. So again, not a financial advisor here. So I don't know anything. So please don't make any trade based on my analysis. This is just my own opinion. I'm doing my own thing with my own portfolio here. Okay. So of course, I still hold my long-term bag, my moon bag as I debt it. So still, I have some shares there. I have a couple more calls. I added 4 to the most recent one, but again, it's a very small amount here. I'm not betting my whole portfolio over here. But as far as like, just monitoring, waiting for the, what is it? The earnings report, it's coming very close to that. I'm very excited to see. But again, they might still fake it down again. Who knows, right? I mean, if you think about how many ups and down that, whoever is in charge, of letting this thing go. No, it's probably because people don't pay attention, right? So you could say that. You could say that nobody wants to buy into this company and all that stuff because therefore there's no volume. I have a different opinion, obviously, because I think that, there's more appearance. The appearance is that nobody's buying into this company. If you have Weibo, though, I want you to go to, I should have put up the breakdown here. It says large scale order in the last 5 days. All of it is green. Okay. And it says now green in a very small, in terms of dollars. But I should have put a snapshot. I forgot to do that. But anyway, if you have Weibo, go to GME, and then it says large scale order. And, those large scales are in the positive. So in my opinion, that means that they are accumulating, big monies out there at every level. The whole week was green for that particular section over there. But again, just my observation here. Take it with a grain of salt. I really think there's a spike coming. I keep saying that though. That's bad though. It's very frustrating for sure. I know. People have been holding this for a long time. They would think that this is so frustrating, but I'm telling you, this is the best time to buy. If you could add more, obviously. If not, then just wait. How long do you think they're gonna be able to do this? Another, up and down, and algorithmically trying to shake people out and all that stuff. No. Again, we know what the game plan is for GME as a fundamental, solid play. The company's it's not going to go anywhere, okay? As far as the price action, hey, if they want me to buy at $24, what is $24 right now? $24 is, how much equity is that? So $11. Oops, sorry, that was not a good one. That's 45% equity, okay? So for every single share that you buy, right now at this price, you're going to get 45% equity in the future earnings of GameStop. Of course, if you don't care about future earnings of GameStop, then, again, depends on how valuable you think the company in the future is. You're not going to care. It's like, I don't care if I own 45% of the company, future earnings, right? You would say stuff like that, and then you're like, I'm just here for the run. Okay, then you should be okay with the short-term pain as well. Hi Kenny, what's up? How are we doing today? I'm trying tension here. Again, I'm feeling it myself too. I'm like, when is it gonna happen? But of course, I understand, this type of thing. I've been here for quite a while. So I know the game and all that stuff. So long-term gain, obviously, I am in here for the right reason, I like to say, because of the fundamental of the company, for sure. And, this short-term spike, it's fun to see, for sure, right? Now, hopefully, this short-term spike is going to go to hundreds of thousands of dollars of share, okay? But again, if it happens now, I wouldn't be mad at it. But if it doesn't happen right now, It's okay. More time for me to accumulate. It's as simple as that. The economy, look at the economy around you. I'm telling you, leadership of this company has been preparing for this type of condition in the market 3 years ago. That's why they're cutting. That's why they are preparing for a very less expense, right? The expenses, okay, to decrease the expenses so that when these type of economic calamity comes, we'll prepare for it, okay? And if it doesn't come, we also have cash in order to leverage, okay? If the money become cheap again, of course we're gonna use our asset to borrow. And how much do you think the bank's gonna give you if everybody is falling down like flies? I bet you anything, every single bankers out there is gonna stampede to do business with GME. Oh yeah, believe it. They're gonna be like, okay, here's $10 billion. Just again stampeding. It's like, because who else are they gonna borrow? Who else are they gonna lend it to? They're only going to lend to the company that has solid asset and solid business plan. And you better believe that GME does have a better balance sheet, solid, and better business plan moving forward. Okay, you may not see it on the surface right now because Ryan Cohen doesn't speak to you. Okay, if you're mad about that, I'm sorry. Go invest in something else. So as long as you're solid in that line of thinking, then the price action shouldn't scare you at all. Even if it goes down to $20, in a brief moment, you think it's gonna stay at $20 forever until the end of time? Of course not. Waiting like all of us. Yeah, of course. Hey, what's up, KCR? Haven't seen you in a while. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, last time you add a whole bunch of share, right? So, but yeah, this is another opportunity. What is your favorite part of Carter's show today? I didn't watch the whole thing. Let's see. He was talking about some, like, I saw the beginning part. I heard about the credit card thing that GameStop was getting into. Not credit card, buy now, pay later. So that's what I heard. But yeah, I'm sure he did something funny. Did he do something funny? I didn't finish the whole show, so to be honest. But yeah. Let's see. Okay, lost my train of thought there. But again, so just to reiterate this part right here, because it's so important for people who's antsy about this company, like, it's gonna be like bad or whatever. Okay, so price action, they're gonna do this thing until, tiring. It's very tiring when you look at the price action. And this is the plan, right? For, the market maker to shake you off of this position. So if you let them, of course, you're going to miss out. But it's okay, Look, let me tell you something around here about this company, okay? So for the last 3 years, they've been improving incrementally, slowly, to the point where now they're very solid, okay? And we see evidence of that already. Back in Q1, we didn't do as well as we wanted to, see? But at the very least, we weren't burning that much. And so this is why, we're kind of inching to Q2. Now, Q2, we did pretty well. Much better than the estimate, even to the tune of 100% more. Of course, we came out flat, meaning that the earnings per share was 1 cent. That wasn't, again, too pretty. But again, this quarter two, we're not supposed to even make money at quarter two. And so when you go quarter three, we were like beating expectation to the tune of 300%. Okay. Now I understand people are like trying to gaze your eyes over here. Revenue is so important for these people. But in my opinion, the bottom line is much more important than the top line revenue. Okay. There's no reason for you to sell $1 billion worth of goods and services, but you only get to keep 1 cent of that, right? You do all this work to sell $1 billion worth of goods and services, but then you only get to keep 1 cent, 1 penny? No. Why would you go through all that? So when you cut down stores, obviously, and then you operate at a better time frame, like Moran's was saying about the company improvement based on the operational and all that stuff, right? Incrementally, small incremental change, but this is going to add up to your profit margin. Profit margin is going to be superb. If it's not this quarter, it's going to be the next fiscal year. Okay, so you might have the opportunity to buy GME at this low price too. But again, eventually, it's going to be so obvious to people that you're going to be wishing, it's like, oh, I wish I had more, right? Again, this type of psychology, the reason why people are so antsy is because they've been buying at a higher price and they thought they could, they should have sold, at 34 or whatever. Okay. Well, should have, could have, would have, right? I mean, when it was trading over here, people are so happy. And now when it's down here, people are just like, bad. Oh my God, it's bad. How many years have you been trading? I'm not a trader. I don't do trading. I used to. Was not very good at it. I lost a whole bunch of money, but again, lesson learned, right? But not as much as it's not enough to cripple me in a sense. So I learned my lesson, but then what I've learned is that I need to do a hybrid, because yes, trading can be lucrative if you know what you're doing. But the way that I did it, it wasn't like as disciplined. I just took 1.5 years off and just, because I had the capital to do it at the time, I thought I could survive it. And so I kind of dedicated my time to learn. But what I do is that I learn best when I experience it myself. So that's the biggest mistake that I did, is that, I just use real money instead of paper trading. I should have done that. But again, I don't like to do that, because again, to me, real experience going to kind of, beat that lesson into me a lot better. It will stick a lot better. That's what I'm trying to say. But then I develop a bad habit of not knowing what I'm doing, right? I could read the RSI and all that stuff, or try to anyway, in my own way. Thought that I could have it down. It's like, okay, if the RSI is low and this is low, again, whatever indicator I use at the time wasn't enough to make me rich or anything like that. But my goal was to only make like, $200 a day if I could. But it ended up being too much, too stressful. So I quit. I was like, well, I'll just end up doing the same way, go back to work and then swing trade if I can. So, and now I'm more of a hybrid, even more, because long-term investment also, is part of my strategy as well. So, but yeah, thank you for asking. Hopefully that answer your question. So yeah, I mean, to me, if you have the strategy, no matter what you do, you're gonna be successful at it. Just know who you are as an investor or as a trader. I'm sure, again, if you want to be a trader, you need to learn so much about the dynamic of price actions and all that stuff. Um, but like Ron Kitty was saying, right? Fundamental alone is not going to cut it, because sometimes if you just think about the fundamental, like right now, GME is actually a good company, but nobody pay attention to it because they're so distracted by other stuff, right? Bitcoin or whatever, right? Whatever is shiny at the time, obviously they are going to flock into those type of asset. Although I'm in crypto as well. Don't have as many Bitcoin as I like, but I would like to accumulate later on. I just feel like XRP is gonna grow more, so I'm still in XRP and waiting on the profit taking point. So, but that's later on in the show. For GME though, Ron Kitty also kind of hybrid his way of incorporating technical analysis with it as well. And so again, you have to think of it as a hybrid based on your own personality and your knowledge of the stock market as well, if you want to learn, right? And so what I've learned from Roy and Kitty is the hybrid nature of it. So I developed my own strategy for this one, at least, or any security that I own. Just briefly, just in case somebody forgot. I have a long-term back. Okay, I have a portion also that I will trade with. I have a trading account as well, but that's separate from my long-term. So I have a portion of shares that I won't sell ever, right, until a certain parameter hits, and those are S&P 500, all of the good stuff that's going to come, after the fiscal year, year after year, quarter after quarter, when we are turning positive. Okay. So for this one, I mean, I would count this one as a positive. I mean, 1 cent. Pretty good, yeah, per share. For second quarter, this is the third quarter, we have 6 cents, okay, in the plus. So this one, I mean, they're trying to estimate. I feel like this is pretty low for this estimation, because this is the fourth quarter. Fourth quarter is much, much, much bigger. You know why? You know how I know? If you go back to this one, there you go. So you could see that last year, the same quarter 4, we were pulling 22 cents per share. So I bet it's a no-brainer, right? I mean, 8 cents per share, really? We're going to beat that for sure. Now, whether the revenue we're going to beat, that's to be determined. But, the bottom line revenue is what we want. We don't want any, top line revenue. Top line revenue and bottom line profit is what we care about, okay? And so if it's trending up, then it's a good thing for the company. Makes a healthier balance sheets and workable, right? Small enough that we could grow slowly in this environment. And even though while everybody are closing doors left and right, bankruptcy, lay off people like crazy, even Walmart, right? Walmart was laying off people. When Walmart is laying off people, that's usually a sign of something is happening. We've been expecting this for quite some time, you guys. Like, don't be surprised. Like, oh, because of Trump. Like, come on. I mean, Trump just got in, and then all of this stuff is already brewing because too much money in the markets, creating bubbles. Okay, but now though, I feel like Trump wants the rate to be lower. But because Jerome Powell has been stating, in his public speaking arrangement, that, oh, we don't see any data to lower the rate, so we're just going to keep the rate as is. And but he's, been kind of alluding to perhaps it's going to keep the rate how it is, until the data back it up. So when Trump wants the rate to be low, I feel like the tariffs is to create that fear, right? For the Federal Reserve to at least make a move, or force the Federal Reserve to do that by laying off people, or at least imposing tariffs, in order to, again, strong arming the whole world over here. But whatever opinions that you have of Trump, you have your own opinion. I don't want to go into that. But though, I think the effects is going to be felt. Short term, sharp. I mean, if you look at the SPY, I mean, I don't have to tell you this. Look at this, right? Everyone's telling you to buy up here. Oh, it's going higher, right? Not a blip. Nobody. And again, it makes me laugh, right? When people are just like, oh my God, the soft landing, right? Soft landing. So are we going to have a soft landing? I doubt it. But if the rate is going to come down lower, so this trend line is going to be drawn like that. I don't know. See, I don't even know how to draw a trend line, right? So if we're breaking this trend line, obviously we're going to come down lower. How low? I don't know. I guess keep it simple, right? Not to be complicated here at all. So this is when we came down one time. And then this is, okay, 24. So that wasn't even Corona. 23. What is this one? 22. Wow. So this is as a result of money printing, okay? It has nothing to do with the productivity, GDP of a company. We have not added any GDP to our, economy here. All of this is Federal Reserve printing money because they were scared to death. That deflationary, okay? The deflationary cause asset to come down. And these people own billions and trillions of dollars of asset. So of course they love inflation. So that's why they print $2 trillion right here the first year, and then another 4, another 6, another 8. And now what happened? We're at $36 trillion in debt. And then you expect the economy to do well? Come on, of course, price coming up like this due to the decision of the Federal Reserve. Okay, so no matter who the president is, you could influence, by not spending, but if your economy is based on debt, the government's gonna keep on inflating till the end of time. Okay, because without inflation, they're not gonna have money to pay for anything. So, I don't know how it's gonna play out, but I don't think Trump would be happy to see the stock market going down and staying down very low. And not only Trump, though, also the Federal Reserve as well, because eventually they're going to turn back the money printing on again. But until then, you might see a sharp downturn here before you turn back up. So, or it's just going to follow this trend line, It's a dangerous thing too if you think that it's going to come down and it never does. So you might be missing out on this run too, right? The point in which they're going to have to turn back the money printer on. So for sure it's a bit scary to miss out on the run here. anyway, so that's gonna cause some fear in the market for sure if that would happen. But that's just only, companies like Apples and all that stuff, because they're big company, right? It's hard for them to grow at this environment. So of course their stock price gonna come down. But because they're so big, nobody's gonna see it happen yet until it's blatantly obvious. Now, with whether the rate is going to go higher or lower really doesn't affect GME all that much, as far as the company go, because again, we have, if the rate goes higher, then we have cash in order to take advantage of that rate hike. Because if you look at rate hike. Because if you look at the bond market here, TLT in particular, I mean, I use TLT a lot because, it's like a long-term bond market over here. And so if the rate were to go higher, because Jerome Powell wants to raise the rate to take care of inflation or whatever, then you're going to see this yield going higher for the whatever, 5% again instead of 6. I mean, instead of 4 right now. So you might be able to get it at, 7% if Federal Reserve's gonna, J. Powell, is gonna raise the rate. But I don't think he's gonna do that, because every central bank out there at this current time has lowered the rate already. So of course he's gonna follow what the other central bank are doing. And so that's why, again, the global liquidity is gonna turn back on again. That's gonna inflate every asset that you own. In my opinion, GME is gonna go up with it as well. So again, if Ryan Cohen were to convert that to Bitcoin, obviously that's gonna hedge for inflation. Or let's do gold. Why not? I mean, the oldest money in the whatever he's getting his hand into, it's going to be great. Either way, whatever asset he could accumulate, cash is also asset as well. Most people don't realize that. For some reason, they don't. They're indoctrinating you so much, or most people anyway, to say that, oh, debt is good, debt is like growth. No, if you don't have the right condition, okay, to borrow money, okay, to do business, then you won't. Because when times are tough, it's gonna make you, you're not gonna make any money. And let's hope that you're not losing money, okay? So that's why all of the companies that are in debt right now are begging Jerome Powell to never raise the rate, okay? And so, because every time he raises the rate, it's hard for them to make money. And people are not going to want to invest in the company that are saddled in debt, right? And so that's why they're convincing retail to go into those type of companies that has massive amount of debt. And that's why you see CNBC or, whatever, Yahoo Finance trying to convince people that, NVIDIA is a good buy at whatever, $150 per share. What is this NVIDIA right now? I feel. Let me see. But again, to me, the tactic is pretty obvious in my opinion. Let's see. This is a Germany one. But yeah, the at this top right here, people were like, "Oh, it's gonna go higher." Not a peep when it's coming down like this. Oh, it's $100. How many? Let me see. 30%. Nobody pulling their hair out. It's like, oh my God, the worst company ever in the history of life. Of course not. But man, if GME were to go down like 5% a day, woo, all hell break loose, right? But anyway, so that's the tactic that they do all the time. And, typically, I think I showed you a video, um, my last live stream about a gentleman who, been in those meeting room, okay, of large hedge funds out there, somebody who have a lot of money to spend or to buy something. And when they need to get into a position of, hundreds of millions of dollars at a time, they would send their, bots or their media people to say, I want you to say that you hate so-and-so, right? You hate this, you hate that. But in reality, they're trying to accumulate that thing, right? So again, with that thought in mind, obviously, I'm going to apply it to GameStop, right? Because every time you see the price movement coming down, if you look at, dark pool or whatever, there's a lot of buy order going over there, right? To the tune of millions of dollars here and there, right? Maybe they're, try to accumulate as much as they can before the earnings. And they're expecting good earnings too. Hey Sharon, what's up? What's up? So again, the earnings is a non-issue at the moment. Now let me see. I'll talk about Bitcoin in a minute here. I have a video that I would like to address. This is Pokemon thing, okay? I don't know this world that much, but I saw a gentleman who was very upset about GameStop pre-order, okay? Okay, this is the gentleman here. I don't know if you guys seen this particular video. Now I didn't listen to the whole thing, but I listened to partial of it, so let's listen to it together, and I would like to address this real quick. Now, it might be insensitive, what I'm going to say, because I don't know that world that much. But let's listen to it, and then I'll come back.
In the news, I just went to GameStop. I got my list of all my pre-orders. I spoke to the assistant manager and the associate inside. They were great. They were super nice. We talked about Pokemon for a lot. And they were both in the same opinion that a lot of what's going on right now is coming down from corporate. I had put in an order for 10 booster bundles from GameStop on November 16th, 2024. We're talking 3 to 4 months now that I prepared. I did this because I knew what the situation would be. I knew Pokemon would be in this position where getting things was impossible. And I did this on purpose. I pre-ordered on purpose to cover for myself because I felt that, it's the only way I'm going to be able to get some product these days. Let me put in my pre-order, and I've sat waiting. The store I originally put it in was shut down. My pre-order, after I spoke to them, got moved to this store that I'm at now. When I spoke to someone 2 weeks ago, this is before the policy update. This is before they changed the policy of pre-orders having to be in person or purchasing in person. No more pre-orders. We've seen the journey together. Pre-orders go out. It's a shame that this is happening, but at least people that pre-order Journey Together are, they're getting more advance notice. I'm learning this less than this is tomorrow. Tomorrow is the pickup for the pre-order, and I'm very upset. I may be acting normal right now, but I want to say some very vulgar things on this video. I'm going to try to avoid doing that. But essentially, when I spoke to them 2 weeks ago, they said, hey, we see your order. You have 10. You are good to go. Don't worry. Don't stress. Why would you tell me that? Now, I come into the GameStop, and like I said, the people are very helpful, but they spoke to the manager. The assistant manager called the manager, and the manager said, sorry, new policy. This is the rule. This is GameStop's new rule that came out this week. We know why, because they want to get people in the door. They want to make sure that their corporate money is being spent. Oh, you buy some Pokemon? Well, you buy a used controller too. They don't care about people that actually care about Pokemon. And I'm sure people are going to be in here saying, oh, you got 10 of them. You're just trying to resell. No, I bought 10 of them because I want to open some. I want to keep some sealed. I want to have options with what I could do. And I haven't opened.
Whoops, sorry. I meant to read the thing. Okay, let me go back here.
Called the manager, and the manager said, sorry, new policy. This is the rule. This is GameStop's new rule that came out this week. We know why, because they want to get people in the door. They want to make sure that their corporate money is being spent. Oh, you buy some Pokemon? Well, you buy a used controller too. They don't care about people that actually care about Pokemon. And I'm sure people are going to be in here saying, oh, you got 10 of them. You're just trying to resell. No, I bought 10 of them because I want to open some. I want to keep some sealed. I want to have options with what I could do. And I haven't opened any prismatic because of how the state of the hobby is right now. And it's not good. And this is not good because what they said is if you pre-ordered, forget about it. They're going to do everything in person. Do you know what that means? GameStops across the country are now going to have lines waiting out of them. Do you know what happens when you have 40, 50, 60, 70 people waiting for a product to scalp, to make money on? You get a lot of people that are very agitated and I want this and I've been here waiting for 4 hours. There is going to be a lot of issues tomorrow if people put in pre-orders like me who put in 10. If I didn't call and I showed up tomorrow and they said, sorry, we don't have your pre-order, I would have blew a gasket. There would have been hell. I would have been causing myself problems because of this. Now, I understand that in a pre-order situation, it's not obligated that GameStop has to fulfill, but you better freaking believe that this is bullshit, GameStop. This is bullshit. You have an obligation to your customers, the people that pay you, and just because now everything's for profit and for greed and XYZ, you're going to cancel pre-orders that are 5 months out because you want people in your store and we have a product that sells out no matter what and yada, 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 bing bong. Shut the hell up. That's BS. And you freaking know it, GameStop. I'm talking directly to you, the people that are in corporate. I hope you see my face and I hope you recognize because I went down to the store today. I was very, calm. I'm upset. Internally, I'm pissed. But what you guys are doing is wrong. This is terrible for the community of people that actually like Pokemon. And I hope this has some ramifications. You deserve ramifications for these type of actions. And I hope this post, whether, is seen by 10 people or seen by 10,000 people, whatever that number is, you guys you should be doing better. This should not be the case. You should not have people, I spent $50. You guys got a $50 no interest loan for me back in November. And what? Now I get a refund? That's not, that doesn't make up. I'm not happy now that I get my money back that you guys sat on. What did you do with my $50? You didn't do a whole lot. So
$50.
The receipt that I have right here, I also got corporate's number.
Wow, sir. Very hard hitting over here. When I first, watched that video, I was like, oh my God, did he pre-order and then he had to pay the whole thing, like, $10 over there. Okay. I don't remember how much it costs per box, but I thought, okay, it's going to be like full price, right? He had to pay full price. To pre-order, you only have to pay, what, $50? And this type of anger. Now, again, like I said, I'm not from that world, so I shouldn't be this insensitive about it. But yes, I get the point of pre-ordering and all that stuff. But again, when you pre-order, there is a written, it's probably written somewhere that you're not going to, get the whole thing if, corporate's not going to give you, right? If there's a limit on certain things, they're going to go by that rule, And it's pretty, again, to me, it just give a chance for other people to get something rather than nothing. Okay, so he wants $10 all to himself, understandably, for whatever reason, whether you want to scalp it or whatever. But if it's not available in that, in that store, what is that store supposed to do? And so I think GameStop is trying to give other people a chance to at least have some of those pack, so that's it's spread out and it's not going to just be, to one person. And it's highly competitive for sure. I'm aware of that because every time I see, Pokemon people who are, lining up, to buy into Pokemon into the store. And so again, it just pissed on something, but again, over $50. But I think he's more pissed that he couldn't get the 10 bucks all to himself, right? And to me, that's pretty selfish, you know. And whatever you're gonna do with that box, and I want to be careful because again, I don't want to offend anyone in the Pokemon community. I'm sure there's a lot of very what is it? A fan club of some sort. It's gonna go to the end of the earth to get one box of Pokemon. Okay, but yes, to me, it's just the participation. Okay, and GameStop is doing the right thing by at least limited to two box per person. I think that's pretty reasonable. Because, you know, with that 10 bucks, 5 other people could have gotten it, right? So $50 worth of pre-orders is not that big of a deal, okay? So in my opinion, this guy is just full of himself. He just made mad because he couldn't make money off of it. Sure, yes, of course. It has nothing to do with the fan club. Oh, why would you want to, you know, break some of it and leave some of it unbreak? Meaning, you know, boxed up. Because you want to sell it. You want to resell it at a higher price, you know, scalping or whatever. If that's what you want to do. But again, if you want to do it that way, then make sure you have a secure way to secure those sources, right? Maybe go to a different store at different location every single time, right? So now you have to do the footwork if you want to make money off of this box of Pokemon cards. Then you have to do that. Sorry, that's just my opinion, right? But yeah, I mean, if they didn't honor it because of the right reason, in my opinion, you know, more people
All right, everybody.
going to the
so
store.
I got the unfortunate news.
But I think these are the one. But again, it gives me the idea that GameStop has find a way of a niche community that is very passionate about what they're doing, you know, Pokemon community here. So I think this is the one that he was mad about. But let's see, pre-order, yeah, no longer pre-order. So this is the rule, and I don't know. I mean, I hope you guys understand what I'm trying to say here. It's one of those things, right, where you want to make it right by the community and you want to spread the love. You know, if people have only exclusive boxes and all that stuff, more people get to have the joy of owning something, right, rather than nothing at all. And again, delight as many customers as possible. Okay, that's the whole point of, you know, having this type of thing, so that you have more returning customer, and at the very least, you know, they're trying to care about the customer, not just one, but at least, you know, for that gentleman, he could have had 5 other people who have a chance to, you know, to have something. But like I said, I mean, GameStop really doesn't stop him from having those 10 bucks. He could have just returned to the store 5 different times, right? But anyway, just my thought. Anyway, so let's go back to let's see. Oh wow, it's 10 o'clock already. But let me talk briefly about Bitcoin. I'm gonna be back tomorrow morning too, you guys. So I'll have a lot more to say then. But just briefly, I saw Morant's show where he talk about games, where he talk about Bitcoin, and I want to address that. But I'll do it in the morning because like now it's kind of a bit late. But I mean, Bitcoin is a pretty complex subject to talk about, especially when I don't know the technical thing about it. So the only standpoint that I'm going to talk right now is about price, okay? In relation to whether it is expensive or over value or undervalue. Now, based on this particular chart right here, it's called stock to flow. It just, again, talking about the supply versus demand, okay? And so if there's more supply than demand, right? Or more stock than the flow of money, then you see the red over here. Okay. In the green means that there's more money flowing in than the supply. Okay, that's how I understand it to be. Now, if you look into this right here, the line, the red line, that's fair value. Okay. So for Bitcoin to be fair value right now, you could say there's a VWAP, the volume weighted volume average price or whatever, right? According to the stock, how many Bitcoins are out there or going to be created, okay? Because every single 4 year or every single thousands of block being mined, the reward's going to be cut in half. And so less and less Bitcoin is going to be created over the years. And every 4 year, it seems, it happens, okay? And so when that happened, the reward get cut in half. So if Bitcoin this year, I'm not saying this is the right number, but just an example. Let's say 200 Bitcoin is being mined or can be mined this year, then next year only 100 could be mined, after the halvening, okay? So that's how I go to understand it. Now, with that in mind, you could see every single cycle, this mark right here, it's kind of demarcation of when, you're going to see that burst of people just buying. Now, some cycle are longer than other, right? Right now we're at this red right here. But this red is overvalue when it happened this way. Remember the red line? So this red over here is undervalue under this line. So with that, again, it just math, okay? To me, that's undervalue. Okay, for a brief period of time, you get an overvalue over here because less money flowing in, but you get more people are willing to sell at this price. And it just so happened to coincide with the all-time high of the previous year, previous cycle or whatever. And so again, typically this is the psychology of people, right? When you've been holding at this price point for a long time, you're okay to exit out at an equilibrium because like if you don't understand what Bitcoin is, you're just going to be happy to just break even, right? Without knowing that if you just hold on for a little bit longer, till the end of the year, you're going to see an appreciation much more than you would have got, okay, because of this diagram over here, okay? So again, if you mark like the low, like if you mark it over here, like the green, right? You could see that's the best time to accumulate right there, right? 15,000, 18,000. And so again, because this line is above it, that means it's undervalued based on the mathematical, equation based on the stock to flow, meaning the stock is going to be less and less, and the capital is going to chase it. Now, capital comes from a lot from everywhere. Okay, everywhere means the whole world. Every government out there are inflationary. Okay, they have the same monetary policy. China just print a whole bunch of money already to try to prop up their real estate, right? They've been printing trillions of dollars. I mean, not dollars, their yen or whatever, right? That's like hundreds of billions of dollars to try to prop up their economy. And so where do you think that inflation is going to go? Of course, it's going to go chase, asset, right? That's why house is going to go higher. That's why, food prices or whatever, right? It's going to get a lot higher. So because of inflation, I mean, it's just it's not much there to understand why Bitcoin is so valuable. Bitcoin is not that valuable. It's just that, now you have a fixed supply, right? And more people have to agree with that paradigm in order to get people to use the network. In my opinion, Bitcoin will only be one Bitcoin. There's only, like, if you own one Bitcoin over here, you're going to own one Bitcoin for whatever price. But the dollar denomination is going to keep going higher and higher based on the inflation. Jerome Powell is telling you already that his mandate is to inflate 2% a year. Okay, now do you think that's the actual number? Of course not. It's just a front. It's not even an actual number. I'm sure it's the official number is higher than 2% a year. But they tell you 2% a year for a reason, okay? Deception, okay? Because then you're not gonna likely to know what they're doing. They're actually stealing, okay, by inflation. But because people just don't know how inflation make asset prices go higher, they just don't understand it. And so that's why, they're less likely to know what's going on. They usually blame it on, some president coming, this because of Biden, because of Trump, because of whatever, right? Just blame on the wrong person. The person that they should be taking a closer look at is Jerome Powell, This guy is the guy that affect your economy is because of interest rate, because of the way that they are propping up something, buying bonds, buying asset. Again, they have unlimited amount of money to be printed. Like, of course, we have a debt ceiling or whatever, but Trump is trying to eliminate the debt ceiling. So he doesn't mind printing money. Okay. So, but again, in my opinion, I think that, no matter what happened in the world, Bitcoin's going to go higher due to the function of the program. It's just a piece of code, you guys. That's it. Okay, just a piece of code that says you own this much Bitcoin, nothing more. And the value comes from the limitation of limited supply. Okay. And it's a response of what the Federal Reserve is doing because they have an unlimited amount of money. They could inflate your buying power at any moment in time, at will, okay? And we used to have Congress stopping that if they don't agree. They used to have to follow Congress by vote. Two-thirds of the vote, two-thirds of the House has to agree to increase the money supply. Now they don't have to. And so, again, I mean, that's dangerous for people who doesn't know. Anyway, sorry. Hello, love your voice. Oh, thank you. It's very sweet, but was going to say you are into XRP. Oh, okay. Yes, of course. XRP. I mean, it's the best one, right? In my opinion. But thank you. Benito. Okay, hope you had an amazing day. Okay. Bitcoin is a security. Takes too long to transfer. Yeah, I understand that. But again, it's the first one, right? The first crypto. It's gonna hold that value for sure, sentimental wise, or even just holding that space of like digital gold. It will get replaced by XRP. Yes, utility. I mean, the two could work in tandem. Okay, Chris Larson, the guy who coded the XRP ledger. I think there's another guy, Jeff McCaleb or whatever. So, but they break off or something. They had a disagreement on what XRP could have done. So, but anyway, so you probably know the history too. But yeah, I totally agree with XRP being the utility. But that doesn't mean that it's going to replace Bitcoin, though. I think Bitcoin will still have a special place in, people who wants to store their wealth in Bitcoin, right? And I think they're going to both do well, for sure. And with XRP, though, I think it's going to enhance the usability of Bitcoin as well. But it's going to be used on the XRP ledger because, you could send Bitcoin to and from using the XRP ledger. So I'm sure there are people building that application right now. If not now, in the future. And that's why blockchain is so important. I think it's a really opportunity for this administration. I'm just, what the hell? I can't even find a word. For this administration to set up for the growth aspect of it. Now, the digital summit that happened today, people are like, oh, this is a nothing burger and all that stuff. Guys, this is the first president of the United States, okay, that has come out and say, crypto is free. So the regulation is coming and people are stampeding to do business in America right now, especially in the blockchain industry. And so the builder is coming, okay? Yes, price is not going to do much right now because, the trick is you poop and scoop, right? When the big institution out there who wants to accumulate something at mass, they're not going to spike the price. They're going to do everything they can to lower the price, to cause fear in the market in order to accumulate top asset at a low price. So XRP could come down to $2, less than $2. Does that mean XRP is going to be bad now because it's only $2? No. The utility of XRP is still the same. The utility of Bitcoin will still be the same. One Bitcoin will only be one Bitcoin, right? And for people who said Bitcoin's going to zero, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard, right? Okay. If you wake up tomorrow and Bitcoin only costs you $1, you wouldn't buy it? Michael Saylor alone would have buy everything, right? So no, it's never gonna go down to $1, not even 1,000. You'll be lucky to see Bitcoin at $30,000 again. And by that time, if you don't scoop it up, obviously, people are gonna scoop it up. Again, like Michael Saylor could have just buy it in one go, and he's gonna continue to issue shares and buy more, issue share and buy more. That's what strategy to the power of Bitcoin is, okay? And so that strategy is could work for GameStop as well. But for me, I think Ryan Cohen is pretty conservative. Like I said, if he ever want to add something, I hope that he only use the money that he got from holding cash. Okay, so, but hey, if he goes all into Bitcoin, I wouldn't be mad either, because this is the best time to buy for sure. And it might come down to $70,000 briefly, or even 60, to try to scare more people out before it goes a lot higher. And we're at that precipice right now. The turning point is coming. So yeah, I mean, $400,000 is not far-fetched, and maybe $500,000, just for good measure here, right? Or it might trail like this, and then boom, right? Who knows? But by the end of this year, you're gonna see what the price is, because it seems like that to me anyway. Like, if you mark the top of every cycle, right? It seems like that's gonna be the case, but it could extend too, right? Because now more and more people are getting into it. It's like a parabola. Yeah, there you go. And so kind of plateau a little bit, because it takes more money to get into it. But now we have state, okay? The state of Texas already approved their Bitcoin reserve. So of course they're going to buy Bitcoin. Yes, the Federal Reserve, what is it? The Fed is not going to add more Bitcoin. They're just going to hold that Bitcoin. So that's what was said today. And the digital stockpile for XRP and every other one, digital whatever asset, is going to be, there's going to be a plan coming, okay? Currently, they don't have a plan so much to buy any other, altcoin out there. All they're doing right now is focusing on the stable coin, okay? So the stable coin is going to be XRP or XLM too, because SDC or whatever is going to be benefiting from that as well. Tether just got delisted or whatever by Binance, so I'm not quite sure what's happening there. But stablecoin in general is going to strengthen that dollar too. So people who think that dollar is going to collapse, I don't think so, because of this technology. If it's implemented quick enough, obviously, the dollar is going to be used on that chain for sure. And if they're doing tokenization, of the treasury bond on the blockchain, you think the whole world's not going to buy into bond? Treasury bond of America? Of course, the world's going to do that. It's a hedge for inflation for other currency. I mean, I just look at the IMF, okay, International Monetary Fund page, and they give you a breakdown of every single country out there, okay? And every single one of them, guess what? They have inflation, okay? Some of them are like 4% a year. India, 4% a year. So that 4% a year kills people. And then, that's why in relation to other nation, compared to, the US, we're worse than the rest of the world. We're still struggling, but the rest of the world are struggling even more than us. So if the capital move towards buying the treasury bond, which is the problem that we have right now, where China is selling because they, whether it's malicious intent or they just need the capital to prop their own economy up, by way of, just trying to leverage the asset of some sort. So again, the complication here is that, the printing, okay? Inflation is like global. So if people who are smart enough, it's like, okay, all I have to do is just buy into the, US Treasury to at least stop the bleeding from my country, I'm going to be above everybody else in my country, right? So rich people from other country understand this. That's why oh, sorry, 1 second. That's why China is selling. Wait, now I'm losing my train of thought. Crazy, huh? But that's why China buy into our treasury, right? Rich people buying into our treasury, because I'm sure, inflation in China was very high at some point, higher than us. So all they have to do is just buy U.S. treasury, so that they are like 10% a year better than their peers who doesn't buy into treasury. Now, with blockchain, though, it's going to make it easier for people to jump in, even the people that are, on the ground and didn't have the access to buying treasury bond before. The globe's going to be able to do that. So I know. I mean, if whether you love it or not, America is the capital of the world, right? Money pots type thing. So people are going to flock into it for sure. And when America's, do something, the whole world's going to follow. So, but anyway, I'm kind of like doing a lot of talking at the moment. I was going to go out, but what's happening? Okay, I will just, let me see. I will let you go in a minute, you guys. Sorry. But no one knows who it is. Okay, owners of Bitcoin, but nobody has seen Satoshi. I know there's a theory about some guy who had a protocol, or at least invented, from the NSA or something. Some national, I forgot but NSA. Yeah, I'll talk about it in the morning. But I'm sure it's just a combination of every programs out there that are existent in the world already, and it's stitched together. So it could possibly be a group of people who just trying to solve the problem of unlimited amount of money printing in the world, right? So a collaboration of some sort. I don't know. Again, I'm willing to say I'm hoping, right? At least hopeful that it's good people that are, creating Bitcoin in order to safeguard, the value of your money, so that you're a little bit freer, and stand to benefit if you're early adopter, and also the believer from then too. But from what I know, the Genesis address hasn't sell anything, so it's still there. It's still inactive, and yeah, no Bitcoin has been sent out yet. So yeah, who knows? I mean, I could be wrong. I mean, right? I don't have that many Bitcoins, so, but I'm hoping to accumulate at least some, so that if it goes to $100 million, right, I'll be set for life. So, but if it's only $10 million, I'll be okay too. So that's the whole goal, is to at least have some Bitcoin, not the whole thing. Obviously, you have to, when you have wealth, you have to spread it out. Right now, I'm trying to at least, get there a little bit quicker. That's why I have GME. That's why I have, XRP, because I think these are opportunity that you shouldn't miss. Okay. Satoshi Nakamoto translated Central Intelligence for Japan. Oh, Japanese. Okay. I learned something new there. Thank you. Supposedly, he's the creator of Bitcoin. Yeah. But there's no evidence of him existing. People claim they meet him like Dennis Rodman. Okay, Dennis Rodman. Theory, right? But there was some gentleman had some video. Some guy kind of have the same name or something. But yeah, I really think it's just a collection of people who have kind of sick and tired of money printing and come up with it, And I'm sure there are intelligent people that are working within the system and saw a very, unfair system in the world, because when you don't have purchasing power, and your purchasing power getting taken away from you, like without you knowing it, that's unfair. So at least that's what I'm hoping too, right? Like, optimistically, I mean, the world is full of evil people, but I think that there's a lot of good people out there too. Hopefully, right? That's why I'm living for. I mean, I'm hoping Ryan Cohen is one of them, right? That is not evil. I'm hoping Elon Musk is not evil. I'm hoping Trump is not evil. So, pretty simple-minded person here, and hopefully the world is standing still, peace on earth type of person here. No war and no suffering around. So that's what I'm hoping for all of us. If World War III were to break out, just pray. Even if you don't believe in God, just pray for the world, because all of us gonna come down too. So let's not try to evoke any of that, okay, energy, and of course your portfolio is gonna go down with it as well. So, all right, guys. Hey, Anthony, what's up? I think the market is going lower. Of course, for sure. All right, guys. I've been here for quite a bit. I need to make that phone call, and I'll be back tomorrow morning. I'm not quite sure how long I'm gonna be then, at what time, but usually maybe around 8 or 9. And I would go on, right? Might be in the mood doing 3 hours on end. Who knows, right? Life is short, so why not? All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining, and I'll see you.